So what other advice would you give to business leaders like myself who are trying to drive change, like enforce change at this moment, to this, that they could kind of listen to and follow through with, other than, talking about reading the room, following up, that sort of thing?
I think the big thing for me is not to rely on the technology. That's the big one for me. Is the technology is great for facilitating the fact that we can still keep working, but even if it's not off the back of a sort of a virtual workshop or something like that, is spending the time to much more regularly than sort of a fortnightly or weekly one-to-one with people is just to be picking up the phone and calling people, dropping them a text, and checking how people are in general, because people and I don't want to stereotype the whole telecoms industry, but people. A lot of the people in telecoms, especially a lot of the people that work in the technology roles, are not necessarily good at sharing what they might be feeling, and we know ourselves that it affects us. So the lockdown, we discussed it on this on this call. So you can pretty much guarantee it's going to affect everyone, and it's going to affect them differently. And although it's an investment of time, taking the time just to ring someone up, even if you haven't got a particular question for them, it's just to see how they are, see if there's anything they want to get off their chest. Really investing that extra time in one-to-one conversations with people, trying to recreate those kind of water cooler or coffee machine moments from the office. I think it makes people know that they are. That they've got an outlet that they can speak if they want to, but secondly that they kind of haven't been forgotten because they're sitting at home in their office.
And it's listening to people on furlough and that sort of thing. Even at this moment who aren't actually working at the moment, you have to kind of keep them in mind as well, don't you?
Absolutely, because obviously what every business has had to make the difficult decision of putting people on furlough. What they're hoping is that those people can come back on furlough and come back into the business afterwards. And so almost sort of treating everyone in that same way, that says, well, what you want at the end of this, whatever that horrible phrase of the new normal, but however we end up at the end of this, what you want is to have employees and co-workers that are their mental well-being is absolutely paramount, and no matter what technology and what tools you've got, you can't do that without, you can't meet people. So the second best is to speak to people. You can't do it over email. You can't do it via any other tool than by speaking to people, in my opinion.
In driving this change, obviously you have to try that balance between, obviously I'm driving the change now, but I also have to think about what the business will be like in a year, 2 years time. So therefore, even the people on furlough, they need to buy into it, even though I can't actually bring them in all the meetings. It's that difficult balance, isn't it?
It is a difficult balance. I mean, I guess we're fortunate that we certainly in the people that I'm working with in the programs I'm working on, there's been nobody that's been put on furlough, so I don't have to that kind of particular that specific concern. But regardless of that, it is absolutely about. As you say, whatever shape the business and the economy and the wider society looks like at the end of this, you need everyone to be kind of coming through that together, and you can only do that by speaking to people. You can't assume that people will kind of ring you, email you, or speak up if they've got concerns, because that generally isn't the case in any of the change programs I've been involved. You have to go and seek out those issues and seek out those worries, and so even more important now to make sure you do that and kind of almost double up on it,